Your last email just landed in their inbox. They're reading it right now. If it starts with, "I hope this finds you well," they already know you used AI. If you want to sound more professional, here's the way to do it with 15 reflexes, 15 sayings that can replace an AI and make you sound more professional. It's nothing to do with your grammar or your vocabulary. You know your working environment. You know what it sounds like. But you use AI for emails, for writing in Slack, sending client emails, writing different documents. You don't always notice the AI slop that make you sound unprofessional. In this one, we're going to focus on one act, one scenario, and introduce you to the 15 sayings and repeat them 3 times. Twice, as the saying itself, and one more time with its use case, so you're able to notice how it works within a scenario. The 15 reflexes we're going to use are quick one, following up on Tuesday, 2 things, here's where we stand, short version, ships Thursday, that's on me, I'll own that one, my read on this is, that's not going to work, I'll push back on that, that's out of scope, what's the actual blocker, walk me through it, let me close the loop. Now that you have the reflexes, let's go into the act. Try to shadow me as I say the second reflex so you get the use out of it and build that muscle memory. Here is our act. Listen through it. Here's our situation. Thursday morning, 9:45. You're on the 9th floor of the London office. It's the top floor. Glass conference room. The VP of Client Success, her name is Diane, has called this meeting. 4 team leads are in the room. You're one of them. Head of Operations is also here. Marcus, the one who sat on the board of your last company. He hired Diane. Diane called this meeting on Monday. The invite said, Communication Quality Review. Please bring one recent client email you're proud of. The invite was 2 sentences long. You know what this is. You know what she saw. For the past 3 weeks, client feedback has been coming in with the same phrase. Formal, but vague. 2 different clients, 3 different accounts, same language. Diane connects the dots faster than anyone in this company. The first team lead went up 5 minutes ago. Her name is Sarah. She's been here for 2 years. She read her email out loud. It opened with, I hope this message finds you well. I'm reaching out to inform you of some exciting updates regarding your account. Diane read along silently. When Sarah finished, Diane said, This doesn't sound like a person who knows our client. Sarah sat down. The second team lead went, His name is James. He's been here 4 years, longer than anyone in the room except Marcus. His email opened, Please find attached the revised project timeline for your review. Diane didn't even ask him to read it twice. She said, James, this reads like a contract clause, not a human update. He sat down. The room did not recover from either. You're third. You're about to stand up. What you want is not to survive this meeting. Surviving isn't enough. What you want is what Sarah and James just lost. The ability to stand in front of Diane and be recognized as the person running your accounts. Not a template. Not a delegate. You. More specifically, you want Diane to ask you to share your approach with the room. That's the only version of this meeting that keeps your career trajectory intact. Sarah and James just got quietly sidelined. If you join them, you don't come back from this. Not this quarter, at least. Maybe not this year. The fourth team lead, his name is David, he's been here 18 months. He's not said a word all morning. He's watching you intensely. He knows what happens in the next 5 minutes determines how the rest of the meeting goes for him as well. You want one thing. You want Diane to look at the other 3 team leads and say, do what they did. You had an email prepared. You wrote it on Tuesday evening with your AI. It was 3 paragraphs long. It started, I'm writing to provide an update on the Henderson account to outline the steps we are taking to ensure continued alignment going forward. You rehearsed it. You read it to yourself in the car this morning. Halfway through the drive, you pulled into a petrol station. You sat in the car with the engine off for 4 minutes. Then you opened your email on the phone and deleted it. You're standing up now. You don't have the prepared email. You have a laptop with nothing on it. You have a pen and a blank notepad. Diane looks at you. She has her hands folded. Marcus is in the corner. His arms are crossed, watching without expression. Sarah and James are looking at the floor. And then you hear Diane says, "Go ahead." You open your mouth. You were going to start with, "I hope this message finds you well. The AI gave it to you," but you don't. You're speaking. Quick one. I want to walk you through the Henderson account, the one that came closest to blowing up in Q1, and the one I'm most proud of, how we resolved. Diane's eyebrows moved a millimeter. She expected another AI draft. She got a story opener. The AI version would have said, as per our previous conversation regarding the Henderson account escalation in February. No. Following up on Tuesday, the day the escalation landed, when Margaret called me at 6 p.m. instead of emailing, and that's how you knew it was serious. The room is inside the story now. Not listening to a report, listening to a moment, your moment. The AI wanted 3 paragraphs of context, framing, background, chatter. Nothing you can use. But you do use this. Two things two things: the miss and what changed because of it. Diane leans back slightly. She's giving you room. That's a good sign. The AI version, moving forward, our approach to this account will be characterized by a revised engagement model designed to optimize delivery cadence. Were you really going to use that? Was that the language that you would want to use in that scenario? Instead, you say, here's where we stand. Here's where we stand. Here's where we stand. Q1, deliverables shipped. Q2, 3 initiatives with locked scope, and we over-delivered on all 3. And the client renewed for 2 more years last month at a higher ACV than the original contract. Just the corner of your eye, you can see Marcus uncross his arms. Diane leans forward slightly. The numbers just did the talking. The AI version, I'm writing to inform you of some exciting updates regarding the trajectory of this account and our enhanced approach to client engagement. Instead, you know that all that means one thing. Short version. Short version. Short version, I stopped managing the account the way our playbook said to manage it, and I started telling Margaret what was going wrong before she had to ask. That sentence changed the energy in the room. You just told Diane you deviated from the playbook, and it worked. The AI version, rest assured that we are working diligently to continue this trajectory going forward and maintain our commitment to operational excellence. We've all seen these kind of long sentences that AI give us. But we wanted something simple. We wanted something that would be understood. So you say, ships Thursday. Ships Thursday. Ships Thursday. Every Thursday. Margaret gets a 5-line email from me. What landed this week? What slipped? What's the risk next week? No formatting. She reads it in 40 seconds and doesn't have to ask me anything until Monday. Diane writes something down. The AI version, I appreciate the patience the client has shown throughout this collaborative partnership during the transition period. Come on. So what do you say? You say, that's on me. That's on me. That's on me. The February miss happened because I approved a scope expansion in one-on-one with their product lead because I wanted to be responsive and I didn't loop in delivery before saying yes. You just admitted a mistake in front of the VP and the head of operations. Nobody flinched. They leaned in, and the AI version would give you, we have since implemented enhanced protocols to ensure such issues are mitigated going forward through improved cross-functional alignment. Probably the worst thing that you can say after being so open, so personal. So what you are going to say is, I'll own that one. I will own that one. I'll own that one. Every Monday, before I send the Thursday update, I have a 15-minute call with delivery. I flag every client request from the previous week. And I'm the bottleneck on purpose. Sarah looks up from the floor. David is taking notes. But what would the AI give us? It is important to note that the evaluation of this account reflects a broader trend in client engagement best on practices across the organization. And it could go on and on. Instead, you say, my read on this is, my read on this is, my read on this is, our clients want us to manage them. They want us to tell them the truth faster than they can find it themselves. And that's why Margaret stopped reading the executive summary, because the Thursday email makes it unnecessary. That sentence reframes the entire room. The meeting isn't about email style anymore. It's about courage. It's about your courage. The AI version would give us, we hope to foster a collaborative environment where mutual objectives are aligned going forward and stakeholder expectations are proactively managed. No, you're not going to say that. You're going to say the sentence that works. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's what I stopped saying every time I was tempted to soften or cushion. I stopped and I said the hard thing first. And yes, it's uncomfortable. And it's why most people don't do it. And it's also why Margaret renewed. The room is completely still. The AI version would give you, I would respectfully like to suggest that we consider a broader application of this methodology across the client success organization. Too long, too busy. You can't use that. But many do. But you're going to come out of it and you're going to say, I'll push back on that. I'll push back on that. I'll push back on that. I'll push back right now on the premise of this meeting. Diane, you called us in because client feedback says formal but vague. And that's not a communication problem, that's a courage problem. And the fix isn't a style guide. Diane does not move. Marcus, in the corner, slowly uncrosses his legs and is leaning forward. Would you notice that this is AI? While I understand this may be outside the scope of today's discussion, I believe there may be an opportunity to explore a more comprehensive approach. Come on. What you're going to say is, that's out of scope. That's out of scope. That's out of scope. Writing an internal style guide is out of scope for what this meeting needs. What this meeting needs is 4 team leads communicating to send one email this week that tells their client something the client didn't want to hear. You just told the VP what her own meeting needs. And she's still listening. Your AI would tell you to use, could you please provide additional context regarding the feedback pattern you've observed and the specific client communications that prompted this review? I don't even remember what we just said. When we actually want to say, what's the actual blocker? What's the actual blocker? What's the actual blocker on giving us permission to write like this? If it's compliance or legal review or account escalation risk, we can solve that. But if it's not that, we're worried about looking unprofessional. And that's the thing we have to name out loud and then stop believing. Diane looks at you for a long second. Then she says, quietly, keep going. The AI version would tell you to use, would it be possible for you to elaborate on your expectations for how we navigate this shift in communication approach across broader organizational needs? Instead, you know to say, walk me through it. Walk me through it. Walk me through it. Walk me through what you want this team to look like in 6 months, not a quarterly plan. The actual behavior when a client emails one of us with a bad question, what do you want us to say? Diane starts to answer. She talks for 90 seconds. You listen. You don't write anything down. You just listen and wait. The AI version will tell you to close with, please do not hesitate to reach out should you have any question regarding this approach, or if you would like to discuss further steps for implementation. Instead, simply, let me close the loop. Let me close the loop. Let me close the loop. 3 things. 1, I'll send you the last 8 Thursday emails I sent to Margaret by the end of this day. Not as a template, as evidence it works. 2, I'll take 1 email from each of the other 3 team leads this week and rewrite them side by side. 3, we don't need a style guide. We need you to tell the company out loud that hedging is now a performance issue. Diane writes one more thing. She caps her pen. She looks at Sarah, then James, then David. Do what they just said. Then she looks back at you. Send me those 8 emails. And bring Margaret to the leadership offsite in June. I want the rest of the team to meet the client who made this work. Marcus, from the corner, says the word good. Now that you have these reflexes, you will know to notice when AI gives you generic slop and how you can use your words, your reflexes, to provide a much better interaction. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next episode.